Ancient objects may have been explosive hand grenades since antiquity to almost 1,000 years ago. This is a little pot, a ceramic pot. It's the size of our palm, and it's from ancient Greece, and it's believed to have been an ancient hand grenade that was filled with quote-unquote Greek fire. Now, the Greek fire could not be extinguished by pouring water on it. It would just increase the fire. So nobody really knows what the Greek fire was actually made of, and it's a mystery and a secret that we don't even know today. But these hand grenades, from what articles are saying, these ancient ceramic pots unearthed in Jerusalem and the Mediterranean may have been used as hand grenades during the time of the Crusades, according to a study. So they were used even in the Middle Ages. The new analysis of ceramic pots from the 12th and 11th century Jerusalem backed up previous prepositions that some of these vessels may have been used as ancient hand grenades during the time of the Crusades. Coming from the ancient times, spheroconical archaeological artifacts rounded with a cone-like base are found in museums around the world, and they have been linked to everything from carrying liquids to acting as a smoking pipe. Their versatility and diverse use has been well documented, and the new analysis constitutes more evidence that carrying explosives was one of their functions. In the latest analysis of 4 potsherds found in the Armenian garden located in the walled old city of Jerusalem, they were found between 1961 and 67 and held in the Royal Ontario Museum of Canada. Experts were able to look at the residue inside them, finding that one vessel contained what looks to be explosive material. Quote, this research has shown the diverse use of these unique ceramic vessels, which include ancient explosive devices. This is what molecular archaeologist Carney Matheson from Griffith University of Australia says. He explains these vessels have been reported during the time of the Crusades as grenades thrown against Crusader strongholds, producing those loud noises and bright flashes of light. Through a variety of chemical tests, the researchers found that the other 3 vessels most probably contained oils, scented material, and medicines, and that matches up with what would be expected from containers like this. The 4th vessel is a stoneware pot with very thick walls and no decoration, contained residue that pointed to the possibility of chemical storage or chemical explosives. Sulfur was one of the ingredients detected, along with mercury and magnesium, all at higher levels than the other pots and the surrounding soil. Previous research suggests pots like this 4th vessel may have held gunpowder, also called black powder, invented in China in the 9th century. However, the team behind the new study thinks the chemical mix points to a different explosion. Matheson said this research has shown that it is not black powder and likely a locally invented explosive material. The researchers are not ruling out other potential uses of the 4th pot, a fuel source for a lamp maybe, or a container for oil, since there was also the presence of fatty acids which have been used in early thermal weapons. Now, what they do say is that the grenade hypothesis is worth considering further, not least due to the vessel's shape, size, and thickness. Now, historical accounts of battles, including the 1187 AD siege of Jerusalem, mention the use of weapons similar to hand grenades, and indeed relics similar to the one outlined in the study have been found elsewhere as well. So it's another piece of evidence for researchers looking to understand how war was waged thousands of years ago. What remains uncertain is what exactly was inside these early hand grenades. A mixture known as Greek fire has been suggested. There's no consensus on what the recipe of this actually is, and its makers never documented the process of putting it together, so that Greek fire is still a mystery. What was it? More research on these vessels and their explosive content could allow us to understand ancient explosive technology of the medieval period and ancient Mediterranean, ancient Greek fire, and the history of explosive weapons in the Eastern Mediterranean, Matheson says. The research published in PLOS ONE, and it's on Science Alert. Fascinating, isn't it? Another world. This is by David Neal. This is one of the ceramic pots in the Athens Archaeological Museum. Ceramic pots, they used to hold Greek fire, and you have something around there that's what we would call caltrops. This is from Wikipedia. Now, the Greek fire, they used to also use it as flamethrowers. It was widely used, of course, with naval battles in the ancient Greek eras and, of course, the Byzantine eras from 330 AD to 1453 AD. The general characteristics, theories on the composition. Most popular theory regarding composition of Greek fire held its chief ingredient as saltpeter, and saltpeter is potassium nitrate, chemical compound with the chemical formula KNO3. It is an ionic salt of potassium ions and nitrate ions, NO3. Therefore, an alkali metal nitrate occurs in nature as a mineral. So saltpeter and the form, its early form of gunpowder, which the Chinese had. Now, this argument was based on thunder and smoke description, as well as the distance of the flame could project from the siphon, something like a flamethrower, which suggested an explosive discharge. From the times of Isaac Vossius, his book, several scholars adhere to this position, most notably the so-called French school during the 19th century, which includes chemist Marcelin Berethal. View has been rejected since, as saltpeter does not appear to have been used in warfare in Europe or the Middle Ages before the 13th century. It's absent from the accounts of the Muslim writers concerning foremost chemicals. Second view based the fact that Greek fire was inextinguishable by water. Some sources suggest that water intensified those flames, suggesting that its destructive power was a result of the explosive reaction between water and quicklime. Quicklime, the calcium oxide, commonly known as quicklime burnt lime, widely used chemical compound in white caustic alkali, crystalline solid at room temperature. Although quicklime was certainly known and used by the Byzantines and the Arabs in warfare, the theory is refuted by literary and empirical evidence. Quicklime-based substance would have to come in contact with water to ignite, while Emperor Leo's Tactica indicates that Greek fire was often poured directly on the decks of enemy ships, although admittedly decks were kept wet due to the lack of sealants. Likewise, Leo describes the use of grenades, as we said before, which further reinforces the view that contact with water was not necessary for the substance ignition. Furthermore, Zenkelis pointed out that, based on experiments, the actual result of water quicklime reaction would be negligible in the open sea. Now, another theory could be that it was calcium phosphide, the inorganic compound, one of several phosphides of calcium being described as salt-like material. It also failed to reproduce the described intensity of Greek fire. So it's still a mystery, according to Wikipedia. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.